Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, September 17. The National Water Commission, NWC, says so far it has spent over $42 million on the Kingston and St. Andrew component of its network efficiency project. The disclosure was made by President Mark Barnett at a JIS think tank. He says that figure does not include the $5 billion Jamaican dollars being spent to replace water mains on Constant Spring Road, Ferry to 6 Miles, Barbican, Marcus Garvey Drive, and Hagley Park Road. In addition, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has committed $60 million to address transmission mains.
So you can understand the magnitude of the work that is required to modernize and improve our water supply network in a growing city. So having recognized that, it will take us another 5 to 10 years, and we're looking at over $500 million to really improve our water supply network in Kingston alone.
According to Mr. Barnett, it will cost approximately $3.5 billion to carry out an overall water improvement and sewage service for the entire country. Government will be allocating $25 million to the Trelawney Municipal Corporation for road rehabilitation throughout the parish. Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, says the work will include construction of sidewalks and installation of drains. He was speaking at the Municipal Corporation's monthly meeting on Thursday. In addition, Mr. McKenzie says his ministry will make an allocation of $1.2 million to the Trelawney Poor Relief Department to undertake housing repairs under the Indigent Housing Program. He says indigent houses being built in Stettin and Martha Brae will be completed shortly. Minister of Finance Dr. Nigel Clark says Jamaica is in a fairly good position to access financial assistance in the event of a severe hit by a major hurricane system. His comments come in the wake of destruction to infrastructure in the Bahamas caused by Category 5 Hurricane Dorian. Dr. Clark emphasizes that any hit can put a major strain on the country's finances, and as a result, the government has put a multi-tiered strategy in place. This includes allocation in the annual budget, a $2 billion Jamaican dollar installment to the contingency fund in March this year, and a $285 million contingency credit facility with the Inter-American Development Bank. There are also benefits from the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility (CRIF), to which Jamaica is a member.
And we are working with the World Bank of putting out yet another layer, a risk transfer instrument, such as a catastrophe bond, but a risk transfer instrument that would allow Jamaica to pay premium and be in receipt of funds in the event of a really severe storm.
Dr. Clark was speaking on Friday at the presentation of the 2019 CRIF SPC Scholarship Award to Herona Thompson. She's pursuing a Master of Science degree in Engineering Geology at the University of Leeds in the United Kingdom. The 4-year scholarship is valued at $5.2 million Jamaican dollars. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith is calling on Jamaicans who live, work or travel overseas to register with the country's missions so they can be easily located during times of emergency. These are the honorary consuls, embassies or high commissions. The call comes as a result of recent devastation of several islands in the Bahamas by Hurricane Dorian. Senator Johnson-Smith, who was delivering a statement to the Senate on Friday, said efforts were continuing to reach the estimated 8,000 Jamaicans in that country.
In terms of any formal register, there is none. There's no national register that we have of these persons, and accordingly, we really just have to be working with the community, circulating names, taking names where persons call and say, well, we have heard from this person and we note it, and or this person has been in the shelter.
Senator Johnson-Smith said the ministry had been able to contact 15 of the 48 persons it received requests to locate, and they were in good health. The Foreign Affairs Ministry is coordinating work to assist persons with emergency travel documents and communication with family. The minister has urged persons to call the Consular Affairs Department if they are still not able to contact family or friends. The number is 876-472-3584. Persons may also send WhatsApp messages and photographs. Still in the Senate, members approved the Law Reform Amendment of Penalties Act, which will update low outdated monetary fines for a range of offences. The motion was moved by Leader of Government Business, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith. Among the increases are amendments to Section 40 of the Offences Against the Person Act and the subsection dealing with aggravated assault against women and children. Fines will move from $2,000 to $500,000. In addition, the fine for persons found guilty of stealing certain farm products will increase from a maximum of $20,000 to $250,000.
Mr. President, appropriate penalties form part of the government's commitment to restoring confidence in the justice system as a whole.
Senator Johnson Smith says the amendments are part of a broader reform of legislation across ministries, of which approximately 800 laws are being reviewed.
That work is underway, requiring, as it does, not only internal consultations by the relevant portfolio ministry with the technical teams, but in some cases where issues are cross-cutting, consultations as between relevant ministries, departments and agencies are also taking place.
And finally, the Ministry of Tourism is reporting an increase in arrivals from Russia since the start of the year. Approximately 3,000 Russian tourists visited the island between January and June, when compared with roughly 630 for the same period in 2018. Director of Tourism Donovan White says arrivals are expected to increase further as plans for another airline out of Russia to Jamaica are in the works.
An announcement will be forthcoming soon, but we are in deep dialogues with a major operator of air services out of Moscow to realize new services from that gateway early in 2020.
Mr. White was speaking at the Jamaica Product Exchange JPEX trade show press briefing in St. James earlier this week. In 2018, the governments of Jamaica and Russia signed a reciprocal agreement to waive the visa requirement for travel to their respective countries for persons spending up to 90 days per year for tourism, cultural exchange, or business purposes. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.